I would actually like to probe further. You know, you say that it depends on whether the people in the party would choose you as president, but you yourself, how do you feel about that sort of suggestion from Ernie and also some of our fans also on, in social media?
On what?
On you being the president of MIC.
It's very flattering, thank you. But as I said, if I'm going to seek any position, it will be solely because I feel that I can affect the changes, I can amount to something, not for the sake of that position.
To start off is for getting to the #1 position, to then make those changes, because leadership is just so critical to make changes and to bring a whole wave of new leaders to make real changes. Is MIC even going to survive past this next election?
Yes, it will definitely survive. It will do a lot of in-house cleaning, and we have also going through again another round of soul searching. But I do agree that we have to change in a fundamental way, right from the way we recruit members, branches, division, CWC members, all that has to change, and we have to keep in touch with the people. It has to be an open system.
What are some of the ways that you have actually done yourself to get in touch with the Indian community specifically, to be able to serve them better?
In my capacity, when I was a SecGen, I was trying to bring in more professionals, a more educated group and youngsters into the party. I felt that you have to bring in, infuse new blood, new ideas into the party. And I always believe that, you know, when you bring in youngsters, you give them that platform and you give them that freedom, they will be able to take it to a better, greater heights and do better things, and things that you have not even imagined of being able to do. That is the power of the youngsters. But I think you must give them the platform.
Do you think the changes that you and also other fellow MIC members want to make for the party, can be done with MIC being Barisan Nasional still?
Yes, I think being in Barisan Nasional is a strength for us, because if you look at the context of the larger as a nation, it is good to have a party that represents India to balance
in Barisan.
Yes,
with UMNO, the bigger brother there.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you see, of course, UMNO is strong because their party structure itself is strong, their membership is strong, and their election machinery is very strong. So those.
So you're leveraging on UMNO to still have a say? No,
we are not leveraging on UMNO. We are not leveraging. But you see, when you look at politics, when you look at the numbers, they have the majority, or they have the bigger numbers, and therefore, yeah, it's only fair that they have.
So is that not leveraging on that to still have the voice for MIC?
You see, it is good for the country, for all the parties to come together, and representation from each ethnic groups. You see, of course, people say, no, why is it a need for a race-based party and you do away with it? But as long as Malaysians see themselves as Chinese, Indians, Malay, I think you need that.
Are we not wanting to move away from this Chinese, Indian, Malay parties and really go forward to one Malaysia transformation?
Especially since you are not entirely Indian, you are also half Chinese, half Indian, that kind of thing.
No, nothing. No, but you see, the thing is this. I supported the idea when Datuk Sri Tengku Adnan called for, say, BN to be merged. But in order for us to do all that, all the component parties,
the single party,
yes, must agree, and there's resistance within the party.
From UMNO mostly?
Not from all the you'll be surprised, from all the component parties.
Is it resistance because of self-beneficial reasons, or for what purpose? The parties are there.
No, any organization, not only political organization, there is a tendency, there is an inertia, there is a resistance where you want to preserve your identity. Because when you merge together as BN, then you're doing away with UMNO, IMCA, and MIC.
Because currently UMNO, MIC, MCA is seen as outdated, irrelevant by the people. The people want a party that represents Malaysia, Malaysians, not Chinese, Indian, Malay. That's what the market. That's what the whole rakyat is saying very loudly. Is that not heard?
They don't want communal.
It is being heard, and that is why there are some people. There are certain leaders who are mooting that idea. You have seen that call from Tengku Adnan. I'm in support of it. But of course, you know, as I said, political process is sometimes a slow process where there will be resistance. But the number of people who want to merge and form a single party must be louder and bigger than all the rest.
You are a lawyer by profession.
Yes.
What do you have to say about all these Indians dying in lockup, in prison?
Custodial deaths.
unacceptable, really unacceptable, because the moment you are under police custody, it is the responsibility of the police department to ensure that you're not harmed in an unlawful way. And whenever that happens, first thing is whether the police is at fault or not, they're answerable, and they must be able to, so it is your duty, because you're holding somebody under custody, to make sure that he's not harmed even by the other inmates.
So
what have you done about it?
Yeah, what would you
do? We have spoken to we spoken to the police department about it, and even we were very active about it when I was in the youth, and there were several rounds of talks with the police, and in fact that's when they brought this the police commission to oversee all these things, and for a while you saw that the number of cases going down. But again, there seems to be a flare-up.
Is this something that is racial? Is it because, no, is it like the Malays whacking the Indians in prison?
I will not say it racial, because if you look at the statistics, I can't remember the exact figures now. There are others also dying.
Yeah.
But my argument is this: whether you're Malay, Chinese, Indian, you should not be subjected to beatings or anything in local.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter you're a Malay, Chinese, Indian.
Yeah.
Shouldn't.
Yeah.
So we should look at it beyond that. So
there's a lot of anger, and then there's a lot of, I mean, don't you think that Indians are always blamed for, if there's something bad, let's just get down to the ground. If there's something bad happening or something bad has happened, it's always pointing fingers to the Indians. For example.
Those are the prejudices that all of us as Malaysians have to fight. Those are prejudices, and where we have a certain mindset, and the initial thing, and we were talking about going beyond race, but when there's an accident on the road and somebody dies, and the first thing you ask is whether it's Chinese, Indian, Malay. Why should it be? It's a human being. But you see, sometimes we as Malaysians, we said, yes, we don't want all this, but are we also practicing that in our daily life?
So shouldn't you be standing up and voicing up more as the leader and become
I'm voicing out now.
Well, voicing up is great, but being the #1 man in MIC would be stronger to even voice up, because we really feel all the parties need young leaders who are professional, who are smart, intelligent, such as yourself.
And not based on race.
And not based on race, based on because we were once Datuk Sami Values men. So shouldn't that be the case?
To run for any post, it requires a lot of sacrifice and a lot of time and effort. So whether I also have a role as a father, and as a husband, and I have that role as well. And I must make sure that I balance it up, because there's no point in you being a leader, and you talk about transforming the country and the party when your own children don't get enough time. So I think the future is for leaders to come up in a balanced way. If you look at Bill Clinton or even Tony Blair, they are ordinary house.
Not Bill Clinton, he had a extra, with his Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, Barack Obama.
We don't know yet, because that's not happened, right?
But you see, I think it's important for you to be a wholesome family person. You should be able to concentrate on both. But I think right now, at least in the immediate future, I need to concentrate a bit on my children.
So that's more important.
Right now, yes. I think they need me more right now.
Are there problems at home? Because you keep mentioning about your family from the start of this interview.
My son is studying for SPM.
Okay.
One of the things when we go for all this motivational talk, we tell them, you have to raise your children, spend time. But I've noticed that for the last 2 years, I've hardly spent time with my kids.
Do you think other politicians also have the same?
Yes, same problem, because the demand on politicians is great. You have functions after function. If you don't go, they get upset.
Dewan Rakyat bersidang until 11:57 at night.
That is fine. Parliament, that's fine. But there are so many other functions that you just have to go and show your face.
Too many functions.
Are you planning to send your children out of the country for education, or you still believe there is hope in the country for good education?
No.
Especially for non-Malays.
No, also don't look at it that way. There is good opportunity in the country for education.
Your children?
Yeah, my children.
Will you be planning to send them to local education or international?
That depends a lot on his results and his inclination. Okay, it depends on what are his grades. If he makes a grade and gets a JPS scholarship or some scholarship, well and fine, do it here. If it does not, and then it depends on the course that he wants to take, whether the local universities offer the best. If they offer the best, then I'll send it.
So you still have faith with the local education system?
Yes, but that does not mean, yes, I have, but that does not mean that there's no room for improvement. We have to improve a lot, because education is the crux of it.
Yes, because a lot of our ministers don't seem to trust our education that well. They tend to send their children overseas even in high school years. So we're very concerned. Our ministers not even confident.
It's got to do with
with
status,
them.
don't you think?
I would not know. I would not like to speculate on why they send their children to where they send them. That's their choice. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay, we need to wrap up really shortly. Okay. There's just this one last one. What do you think of Perkasa President Datuk Ibrahim Ali warning the government that it risks losing the support of the group, because they are giving more support to other races as compared to Malays?
Okay, in the narrow context, he's right in that sense. But that's
who's right?
He's right in that sense. There's a risk there. I will not deny it. But if you look at it in the wider picture, that segment that he's talking about is a shrinking market. We, Barisan Nasional, UMNO, we need to open up, go out and reach out to the youngsters, because the younger ones, even the Malays, they're no longer looking into that the segment that Perkasa is talking about. So we need to open up and we need to embrace everybody and move forward.
I do have this question, which is probably my final question. Okay. Should Datuk Seri Najib be removing someone like Ibrahim Ali and not be associated with someone like that in order for the brothers MIC to be seen as one coalition party?
There is no formal link there. But of course, whatever Perkasa does is linked to BN. And as an MIC member, I tell you, that's not beneficial for us. It puts us in a very difficult position.
So don't want Perkasa.
And no Ibrahim Ali.
That I'll leave it to his supporters, his people to, if we are the voice of moderation and where we accept conflicting opinion, then we have to take Ibrahim Ali as a conflicting opinion, that he has his own opinion. We might disagree with him.
Conflicting opinion is fine. Extremist opinions is a whole different story altogether.
But whenever you agree to a conflicting opinion, there will be somebody who goes to the extreme, and what is extreme for one person is not extreme for the other. So
and want to burn Bibles and all that,
yeah.
etc.
So his conduct, I don't agree. His views, I don't agree. Of course, he's at liberty to voice out his views. That's democracy all about. But I have my own views. I have my own ideas about how things to be done and how the nation should move forward.
Okay, so Datuk Muru supports Voice of Moderation. Thank you so much for coming to our show. And of course, we support the Voice for Truth. Thank you so much for joining us on our show. Bye-bye. We'll see you once again.